Hi, welcome to Screening Room. Today we're going to be talking about some of our favorite cult classics.
I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason.
Seatbelt!
I'm Kyle Larson.
I'm Katie Diaz.
And I'm Jenna Zerbel. So imagine this. You're in a cult, and it's classic. The 1975 film Monty Python and the Holy Grail is what many people consider to be the epitome of a cult classic movie. Over decades, it has steadily kept, and at times even surpassed, its past popularity. Even if you haven't seen the film, odds are that you have seen glimpses of some scenes and heard plenty of people quote lines from it. Its plot is centered on the Knights of the Round Table, spearheaded by King Arthur, as they search for the infamous Holy Grail, per the request of God himself. The knights face many struggles throughout the film, both as a group and individually, such as holy hand grenades, dark wizardry, nuns, and killer rabbits. This all comes to a head with one final kerfuffle at the end of the movie. This movie also includes sporadic interjections of some stunning, though strange, animation. Though the basic plot description may not sound like it, this film is strictly a comedy and plays off of many different comedic styles. No matter what your preferences are when it comes to humor, I think everybody would be able to find at least some part of this movie funny. One particular note that should be made about this comedy is that the jokes are often dry and deadpan. Despite the humor that is heavily rooted in British culture, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is the most successful British film in the American market. This movie is so popular, in fact, that it has spawned a musical called Spamalot. To get an idea of what this movie is all about, let's take a look at the trailer.
Epic, historic, and utterly Python. Monty Python and the Holy Grail Special Edition DVD.
It's not a very good name, is it?
Your prayers have been answered. Historians call Monty Python and the Holy Grail Special Edition DVD historically inaccurate. And Joseph of Arimathea says,
We're Knights of the Round Table, our shows are full.
On second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place.
it has been decreed that extras shall be present on this epic tour de force.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
By edict of the king, you get subtitles.
I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
Commentary from the troupe.
I'd like to demonstrate how the Commonwealth Garden coconut can be put to more practical use.
Let us ride to Camelot!
Is this particular hall for Camelot?
Partially animated menus.
Animator suffered a fatal heart attack.
Widescreen presentation.
Camelot. It's only a model.
And more.
Bring out Janet!
Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the special edition. Buy it on DVD.
Now go away or I shall taunt you a second time!
So personally, I really enjoy this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. What'd you guys think?
I also really like the movie. I really like how many times it breaks the fourth wall. That's one of my favorite things when that happens in a movie. But
It's probably the best thing that happened to me in second grade was watching this movie. It was awesome. No, I think it's a hilarious movie. I like all the Monty Python stuff, and this is probably the best out of all of it.
I would say that it definitely gets better too the more you watch it. I think I notice more every time that I watch it. Jokes that are like subtle and I didn't catch the first time around. Honestly, the first time I watched it, I did not like it very much. I thought I was confused. I thought it was too weird. But it grows on you.
I think you definitely have to pay attention when you're watching it. Otherwise, you're going to miss so many jokes. And a lot of it is things that are related to other things because, again, it's based off like the Knights of the Round Table. So you just really have to pay attention and kind of watch out for those sly little jokes in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the movies that like make fun of already well-established stories, like this, like Robin Hood, Men in Tights. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I just watched that last week.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So funny.
But yeah, no, I think movies that can do this well are awesome. But you know, like they keep remaking movies like Robin Hood. But I'm glad it kind of ended with Monty Python, the Holy Grail. So
And then there's Spamalot, which was actually, if you'd believe, my first ever Broadway show that I saw. And when I was young, I just didn't understand what was happening at all. But I now having seen The Holy Grail, I can kind of understand some of the jokes that were made because they're similar. It's not the same exact storyline, but it's very similar. It kind of lines up with the musical. So that's good.
And what do you guys think of the humor style? I mean, I have a bit of a dry humor also, so I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the scenes. So the scenes that stick out to me the most are particularly the witch scenes, like when they're all in like one town and they have this poor woman in a cage, and then they start making accusations against her, like, oh, she turned me into a newt. And it's this guy just standing there. He's like, well, I got better. So I don't know. It's funny. It's just stuff like that it's sprinkled in throughout the movie. I really like it.
Fighting the Dark Knight, and he cuts off all of his limbs. And he's like, no, I can take you. And he's just a corpse, kind of.
Just a happy little torso.
Just a happy little torso.
I also really like all the humor bits that are like really underwhelming. Like when they meet the infamous wizard after all this time, he's like, some call me Tim.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely your sense of humor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can really appreciate it too.
So what did you guys think of the animation?
Well, I thought it was interesting for sure, but
yeah. Those are a bit of the more risque parts of the film where the drawings actually. It was a little hard to find a clean drawing that we could put on our show.
Doesn't God like drop his drawers at some point?
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Well, on that note, though, we should probably move on. So we're going to take a look at some of those perfect pets and then be back later.
I'm Champagne. I'm 5 months old, and I sure do love to play. I can be shy, but I'm also very curious. Add some cuddles to my day, and I'm a happy kitty.
Hi, I'm Socks. I'm 2 years old, and I sure do love belly rubs. I would love a warm bed to curl up in, and maybe even some socks.
Hi, I'm Lollipop. I'm 2 years old. I am very energetic and love all sorts of toys to play with. Come adopt me!
To find out more about adoption, contact La Crescent Animal Rescue at 507-895-2066.
All right, once again, the number for the La Crescent Humane Society is 507-895-2066. Moving right along here, we're going to go into one of my personal favorite movies of all time. Just 2 years after scoring a huge hit with Fargo, the Coen brothers created another cult masterpiece with The Big Lebowski. This film is about miscommunication, a kidnapping blunder, and blackmail. And it stars a slew of actors, including Jeff Bridges as unemployed Jeffrey Lebowski, otherwise known as the Dude. He is mistaken for another man named Jeffrey Lebowski who owes a lot of people money. So some people come to collect that money, and they realize it's the wrong Lebowski after ruining the Dude's rug with some bodily fluids. He tracks down the other Lebowski looking for compensation for the rug and is offered a job as a bagman in his wife's kidnapping. He's aided and hindered by his pals Walter, a Vietnam vet, and Donnie, master of stupidity. The movie is classified as a comedy, as everything seems to go wrong for the Dude and his friends as they try to solve the case of who kidnapped the Big Lebowski's wife. So without further ado, let's take a look at the trailer.
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. I'm the Dude. You know, that or his dudeness or Duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski?
Employed?
Do you like sex, Mr. Lebowski?
Is this your only ID? You got the wrong guy. I'm the Dude.
Your name's Lebowski.
Jeff Lebowski, the other Lebowski, the millionaire.
I received this ransom note this morning.
This is a bummer, man.
They want you to take the money and act as courier.
What do you mean, man? What the hell is this?
My dirty undies, dude. The whites.
Let's take that hill.
Why should we settle for 20 grand when we can keep the entire million?
I know you're mixed up in all this.
Playing one side against the other in bed with everybody.
Blow on them.
Huh? Fabulous stuff. What? Who's sitting on $1 million?
We want some money.
Sitting in the trunk of our car. Where's my damn money?
Say, dude, where is your car?
Who's got your undies, Walter?
This is a very complicated case, Maud. You know, a lot of ins, a lot of outs.
Is this your homework, Larry?
And I would like my undies back.
A lot of strands to keep in my head, man.
Bro! Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
I like your style, dude.
I have no choice but to tell these bums to do whatever is necessary to recover their money from you.
They were Nazis, dude?
They were nihilists, man. They kept saying they believed in nothing.
Better run through the jungle. Better run through the jungle.
You figured, oh, here's a loser, you know, a deadbeat.
Well, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Jeffrey,
Maud,
love me.
that's my robe.
I'm throwing rocks tonight.
It don't matter to Jesus. This could be a lot more complex. I mean, it's not just, it might not be just such a simple, you know?
As I mentioned before, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, but while we were playing the trailer, I heard some rumbling, so I think we should just get into it and address these concerns.
I think I'll talk first because I don't have strong opinions about this, and I really am excited to hear this debate. I thought it was a good movie. I quite enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it enough to say it's in my top 10 or even top 20. But I thought it was funny, and I thought the plotline was interesting. But let's hear what Jenna has to say about this.
All right, guys, I really hated it. I hated this movie. I felt like it was, for sure, in the top 5 of worst movies I've ever seen, actually.
Do you have any warrant for that claim, or are you just throwing that out there?
I have a lot of gripes with this. So first of all, there's nobody to root for in this film. I didn't like a single one of the characters, so I wasn't hoping that things were going to be good for anybody. They weren't anyway.
So to address your point, and you know, send that over here. That's the point of this movie. It's such a unique story. That's why people love this movie, because there's really no good guys in it. And you know, it's just one of those movies where it's a quirky kind of strange humor, and that's, like, as you said, the epitome of a cult classic. So I think, you know, maybe you just need to reevaluate and watch it a second time. It gets better as you go.
I guarantee that I'm not going to watch it a second time, but also, disclaimer, don't watch it in a public place where I did.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
not,
a fair disclaimer.
It's not crazy inappropriate, but strong language.
Strong language, lots of nudity.
Occasional nudity.
And also, I also feel like this movie was just like the perfect thing if you're looking for a way to just really ruin Monsters, Inc. for yourself. For one thing.
That's not something that came across my mind at all. I mean,
John Goodman plays a lot of interesting characters, and he's one of those actors that always, like, gets brought into Coen Brothers. Like, have you guys seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
No.
Nope.
Well, he plays a blind man who takes these guys out for chicken, and they eat under a tree. And he just, like, beats them senseless with a...
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, yeah, definitely don't watch that and think of Sully. Think of John Goodman as a regular person who's just an actor, but
having John Goodman plus Steve Buscemi together, really, it was giving me Monsters, Inc. vibes, but obviously the tone of the movie is very different.
Yeah.
I feel that way. Although John Goodman's character in this movie, I think is actually hilarious because he's just always trying really hard to, like, help out, and it just never works out for him.
Especially with his undies in the bag.
He's in the bag.
That was great. You're definitely going to have to go check this out. But yeah, I recommend, despite what Jenna says, you guys all go and please watch this movie so you can have your own unbiased opinion since you've heard it from both sides.
In the private of your own home.
Yes, but not in public. So with that, we're going to move on to some WMCM Tuesday show promos.
University of Wisconsin La Crosse brings you a weekly student newscast. Important news. Movie critiques. Weather forecasts. Sports highlights. and local interviews. UWL's own WMCM, run by the students, for the students. Every Thursday at 4:30 on Campus Channel 200 and Charter Channel 989.
Are you a movie fanatic? Tune in on WMCM TV's Screening Room, Tuesdays at 2:45 or 4:30. You can watch on Channel 200 and Charter 989. See you on Tuesdays for Screening Room.
Rod Kimball has big dreams of being the world's greatest stuntman. He gets a lot of heat from his stepfather Frank, though, who will only respect Rod when he beats him in a fight. One day, Frank becomes ill, and therefore Rod comes up with a wild plan to get him better so that he can finally kick his butt. He raises money for Frank's heart transplant, and when he loses the money, he decides to go all out with one big jump. He prepares for himself for this giant jump with the help of his friends Dave, Rico, and Denise, and his younger stepbrother Kevin. Andy Samberg does an excellent job of playing the goofy, dramatic character of Rod, and I would highly suggest watching it. Not only that, but if you can pick up a DVD and watch the movie and deleted scenes with and without commentary, you should do that for an extra few hours of fun with The Lonely Island. With Andy Samberg and Jorma Taccone starring in the film, and Akiva directing it, this was The Lonely Island's first full-length film, and it did not do very well in the box office. However, now it has become a classic and a staple in the lives of many people. With a star-studded cast, excellent comedy, and ridiculous plot, this will continue to be my favorite movie. To get a feel for the comedy in the movie, let's take a look at the trailer.
What's up, little riders? Jump in the public pool tomorrow. Tell your friends. That's just a sample.
Good luck.
Don't worry, Denise. I've done this before.
So, what are you supposed to be?
A stuntman?
Wow.
My safe word will be whiskey.
Do you mean whiskey? What? I just don't get why you're saying it that way.
Why I'm saying what way?
Forget it.
I will forget it. Whoa, whiskey! Whiskey! Oh. Hey, everybody. We have a new crew member today, Denise. So I thought it'd be fun if we all went around and said a little something about ourselves. I like to party.
I like to party.
No, Dave, I just said that I party.
I like to party.
No.
I like to party.
Okay, nobody parties but me.
Yeah, just Rod.
Yes.
And me. Sweet.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
Hey, Rod, maybe you shouldn't fight Dad this week.
Relax, Kev. I'm gonna win this time. I did like 40 crunches yesterday. Get ready to meet your maker. Oh, God! We hadn't even started yet! I just had a great idea. One big jump, gentlemen. The biggest jump this town's ever seen. Let's party. If I'm gonna jump 15 buses, my body's gonna have to be in top physical form. Did we reinforce the takeoff ramp?
No, we didn't have time.
Cool. Oh! I've already drafted a rough schedule of exercises that will help us take things to the next level. Oh!
You're a terrible stuntman.
What? You're a terrible stuntman. I'm just kidding. I can hear you. It was just really mean.
From Paramount Pictures.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a jump for the ages. The moment we've all been waiting for.
He's going in circles!
Andy Samberg.
Who wants to see me do big stuff?
Hot Rod.
All great men have mustaches.
Yeah, but real men actually grow them, huh?
You know I have a hormone disorder!
So as I said, this is my favorite movie, #1 favorite movie of all time, and I just don't know how anybody could ever not like it. Luckily, that doesn't seem to be a problem. Anywhere I go, people always seem to agree that it's an excellent movie. But what did you guys think about it?
It's a problem. I didn't like it very much. It didn't make me laugh.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but it did not make me laugh.
Why did this come up in prior conversation? I wasn't ready. You caught me off guard. What?
Maybe if I were, when it came out and I saw it when I was like in middle school, I would have thought it was funny, but I did not find it very funny.
Wow, I am the queen of unpopular opinions, and I was not ready for that.
Granted, I literally saw this like 2 hours before the show, and I was kind of doing something at the same time, but it didn't have anything that kept me like watching it, and like, I hope they were making fun of like bad movies, because I didn't like it very much, because I think there's one scene where he's falling like in the woods, and for like, I was like, oh my god, it's the worst scene. So sorry, I'm sorry to have
such a good scene.
Spoiled
They
that
do
for
that
you.
on purpose, of course. It's extra long, and you keep thinking, when is this going to end? And
Right.
it never ends on purpose.
And then
It's
it
funny
just-
on purpose.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that's what they were trying for, because if they didn't, it's horrible.
You know, I think it's not supposed to be an excellent movie, which is why it didn't do well in the box office to start out with. But over the years, the jokes have become more popular jokes, I guess, and I just have to say that I disagree with you 100%.
My takeaway when I was watching is I was like, I just can't believe they got so many good actors to agree to do such a bad movie. So.
Are you familiar with any of the Lonely Island's works?
Yes, I am. And this is the worst.
What?
I feel like the comedy here is like the perfect blend between like dry humor and slapstick comedy. I think it's so good, so great. A lot of it is subtle, but a lot of it is very in your face, like the falling scene, for instance. I think it's the perfect blend.
I mean, I'll give it a second chance in a different setting,
Okay.
Okay. But I didn't like it
That's
the
all
first
I
time
asked
through.
for. I think a lot of it, maybe for me too, is I'm a huge, true fan of the Lonely Island, and I know way too much about them and just everything they do. So I know that when they filmed this, Jorma, the guy who plays Kevin, was 30 years old, even though he looks to be about 11 in the movie. So that's like underlying a joke for me, because I know that. But also, if you watch it with commentary, I think it's better, because it's commentary by the Lonely Island. So they're kind of talking about their jokes and how and why they are funny, even though they don't need to be explained to most people. But
I could have used them, apparently.
apparently so. This has caught me off guard. I am shook. And
Yeah, this is called news.
This is called news. Yeah, you liked it, right?
I loved it. And I normally don't like things that other people enjoy. But I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great. I laughed a bunch. Yeah.
What's your favorite scene?
Ooh, my favorite scene is probably when they are sitting around the pool and they try to match the pitch of a certain sound.
Fun fact about that scene that I learned from the commentary is that was actually not in the script. They thought of that day of, and then they decided to put it in the movie, just day of. And it's just funny because they're naturally funny, including in other movies they do, like the Pop Star movie that they did. I don't know if you saw that. Well, I don't know if you'd appreciate it as much as I
better
did.
with commentary.
But it's a really funny movie. It's basically about this guy, and he's a pop star, Connor for real, and it's making fun of like Justin Bieber's documentary or like One Direction, making fun of the popumentaries with a mockumentary, so to speak.
Sure.
So that's kind of a related movie. It's not a cult classic yet, but
it will be in time.
I'll be waiting for it.
A lot of people
So
didn't
what are
like
your
it.
guys' other favorite cult classic movies then?
I mean, I feel like the Tarantino ones are widely popular, but they're still considered cult classics. And my favorite of those is Pulp Fiction, so that would have been my other choice for this.
Yeah, I really love The Goonies. That's one I almost talked about today. I also really enjoy Rocky Horror. That's another one I considered.
Yeah,
Both are
Rocky
classics,
Horror
I
is really
think.
good. I feel like it ends up being really long, but the music in it is really good. I would recommend watching the Glee episode of Rocky Horror. That's just a
not
really
the same.
good. Not the same at all, but if you like the music, they do a really good job of that. But
I
yeah,
would
that's
recommend that
definitely
if
a
you're
cult
gonna see
classic.
Rocky Horror, you should go and see it in theaters live. I did that the first time I saw it, and that's way more fun, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know in any other Coen Brother movie, like Fargo, have you guys seen Fargo?
No.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Raising Arizona. Well, whatever. Go check them out. They're really good, too.
Yeah, we can't relate.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if this counts, but Napoleon Dynamite also, because...
For Hot Rod? Like, similar to Hot Rod? Because that's what I kept thinking the whole time, yeah.
Because they were trying to make kind of a bad movie, but it turned out that like everybody loved it and it was really good. Not right away, but now. There's just so many jokes in Napoleon Dynamite, much as there are in Hot Rod, that are just personal memes, one might say, you know?
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So some cult classic movies that I don't enjoy. I really didn't like the movie Mean Girls. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Never seen it. I don't know.
I loved it.
I get annoyed by people like putting that on their Snap story. It's like Wednesday, wearing pink, and it's like, okay, that's enough. I'm sick of it.
Well, I don't go as far as to do that, but I did like the movie Mean Girls. Yet, yeah, maybe I'll do it just to spite you. But
just spite you.
I really like Tina Fey, and I'm a big fan of her work, and she wrote the movie, so I really liked all the humor in that, and I thought that did well to start out with, so I don't know, I guess I don't know if it did or not, but
yeah, I mean, people have different definitions of cult classic, because a lot of people define it as a movie that didn't do well upon release into theaters, but has gained a lot of success in the future. Whereas some people just say it's a movie that a lot of people like and has like a real solid fan base.
Right. Or it's like a movie that came out under some company that isn't like a huge, like the Weinstein Company or something. Yeah. It's like kind of a low production film, like Napoleon Dynamite was, because that was like only what, $20,000 budget or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoy cult classics, like just watching them to see what they're actually like and seeing if I can relate to the people that say they like it. So I don't know, I'll go out of my way. Like the other week I watched Clerks. Have you guys ever seen Clerks?
No, but I have been meaning to, actually.
So it's kind of another movie that like is not good. Like the acting, like my roommate was saying, the acting is horrible. Like going into it, he told me, and the acting's horrible, but the story is actually pretty funny. Like you can watch it. And
is it like The Room level? Because that's also a cult classic with terrible acting.
It is much better than The Room, so we don't have to worry about like that bad. But no, Clerks is another good one.
I will say that one of the best features about cult classics is their star-studded casts. And there's actually a lot of movies coming out these days with star-studded casts as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies new in theaters, such as, well, one I know I just saw was Bohemian Rhapsody. That was really good. I really liked the music of Queen. It ran a little long for me because the end of it was kind of a concert of Queen, and I could have done with less of that, but it was really good. Also coming to theaters, or in theaters right now, The Grinch.
I'm going to see that tonight, actually.
Oh, God. Well, tell me how it is.
I will.
Yeah, I like the original Grinch, the like live action one, so I might like that. But also Overlord and Instant Family. Another one that's in theaters is The Nutcracker by Disney, so that should be good.
Yeah, I definitely want to see The Nutcracker for sure.
Have you guys ever gone to see like a movie at the Riv?
I haven't actually.
No, so at the Riv, I know they play a lot of movies. That's a good place to go. Let's see what they got at the Riv. So they have Decoding the Drift List. Never heard of it. I'm sure it's great.
Well, I've heard about that in my environmental studies classes. I guess it's supposed to be really cool, just talking about the
like
natural features of this area.
Sure. Well, yeah, that would be cool. Crazy Rich Asians. I know that was pretty popular when it came out, right? Like it did pretty well. First Man, and then The House with a Clock in Its Walls. I think that's the one with Jack Black in it, and like it's some strange like adoption story, but yeah. So.
Haven't heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I know Crazy Rich Asians is really popular, so that'll probably come out on DVD. Other movies coming to DVD pretty soon, or maybe right now. Incredibles 2. I saw that in theaters. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Destination Wedding, We the Animals, and Black Klansman. And then there's also movies that you can see in the U every week, and they're free for Free Movie Fridays.
Free Movie Thursdays, Fridays, sometimes Saturdays. We've got The Meg coming up. That one looks like a lot of fun. I've heard really mixed reviews about it, though.
Is that the one with the shark?
Yes.
I'd see it.
The Megalodon. And then there's also Mission Impossible, Fallout. I haven't heard anything about that movie, actually. I don't know anybody who's seen it yet.
I mean,
my sister really wanted to see it. She's really big into Mission Impossible. I personally cannot stand Tom Cruise, so I won't be seeing it, but
I hate Tom Cruise. I think Top Gun's like one of the worst movies ever. I hate Top Gun.
I'm not a fan. Oh my God, we all agree on something.
Amazing.
Don't let me take to the last part of the show.
Have you guys seen Donnie Darko?
No, I haven't. I've really wanted to see that.
I hated that
though.
also.
Oh, really? Well,
no, I haven't. I would watch it though.
It's one of the, well, that's different though. It's one of those movies that you have to look up what happened afterwards to understand. So,
yeah.
Sure.
I would definitely watch it. I'm into watching movies, definitely. So, but Yeah, so that was Screen Room this week, and we hope that you have a great week.